We talk so much on this show about momentum, and it's a real thing, especially leading into the chase. And ultimately, speed is going to trump everything else. I love the Clash being back at Daytona. I love the fact that we're going to be there for a longer period of time to promote the biggest race of the year.
Last time I had a bet with you, I had to wear a bunny costume, so I feel like this will work.
I forgot about that.
California's Kevin Harvick does it.
Welcome to Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour, presented by NASCAR on Fox. I'm Kevin Harvick, Kaitlyn Vincie, and Mamba Smith, and we're back.
We are so back and
energized.
Rejuvenated after a week off, right?
Well,
guys?
most of us.
Yeah.
Except for you.
Yeah, you're probably a little tired.
I am. Yeah, I would say I've had a long 48 hours, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
Do we want to go down this road right now?
Absolutely.
No, you went down the road, so we just want to know what it's like.
We feel great.
Okay, so what the guys are speaking of is I went out to Iowa to work the ARCA race, which was Friday night. Saturday was supposed to fly out. Flight gets delayed 6 hours, only to cancel in the end. So rebook on a hotel, rebook on a new flight. That flight the next day gets delayed, miss my connection, have to book another flight, and they were all sold out. So moral of the story is I drove 15 hours from Iowa across 6 states back to Charlotte, and I'm here.
I'm so glad you didn't ask me to do that with you. Because I would have felt almost bad enough to say, I think I probably would have. And
You would have had to.
No,
otherwise we'd have probably kicked your ass.
No, had to is a bit much.
That would have been bad if you'd have told her no.
Well, I would have called you first and asked you, what would you do?
You know what, Kevin?
Give me
did to
something
me?
different.
Well, I was still able to do my notes. Aren't you impressed by that?
You were.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I still got the email and everything at the same time.
He writes back, happy driving. But then I knew at least he knew what was going on with my situation.
Of course, we were monitoring in case you needed help or something.
Yeah, and you and I had talked about it. But yeah, you're lucky you got out of there in like a timely fashion because there were so many delays out of Des Moines.
Yeah, being executive platinum with American Airlines pays off. They got to get their
lot in life.
Their VIPs home and where they need to be.
They decided that they were going to, a couple weeks ago, make my TikTok account work again.
Oh.
And I didn't know this at the time, but they were doing, Kaitlyn was asking me a bunch of questions, and I was frustrated in the airport. Same situation. Flights were delayed there, delayed back.
And they were filming
and
it?
We parked up on the top deck because there was no parking spots in the hourly parking. It was pouring down rain when we got back. It wasn't quite as miserable as your trip, having to drive back, but it was close.
Yeah, but so the TikTok thing, what does that have to do with it?
Like
They documented the whole thing. So
that's
I looked
what
like
I thought.
a
Okay.
grumpy old man. I look like grumpy old man on my own TikTok account.
We gotta find that TikTok.
That's worth it. All right, everyone
That's
go look
funny.
up Kevin's TikTok
Yeah,
now.
I mean, I'm glad no one was filming me either. In your defense,
Yeah,
'cause
you
it
probably
wouldn't have
had a
gone.
few curse words.
There were, I was starting to get pretty.
She was
frustrated.
upset.
I bet. I'd have been too.
It was long, but the weekend was good. You were there. I was there.
Yep. I was not.
He was not. No, he was not. Yeah.
But
Shout out to
Kevin
those
won
fans.
since the last time we had a show. By the way,
that is true. That is
Colorado
true.
National.
Yeah,
Well done.
I did. Put on a clinic.
That's
Old guy clinic.
Kevin Harvick Clinic.
Around the
we are
top.
here for it.
around the top.
Yeah.
Just teaching them how to get it done.
Yeah, I've learned that most of the kids don't know how to drive way around the top. So it's an unfair advantage. That's experience. That's what I told all the kids after the race. They're like, how did you do that? I said, about 30 years of experience. So
Well,
No biggie.
If you remember, Kevin never really ran the top of most racetracks. He's around
see,
the
that's
bottom.
not true though.
That now he's going slower. If he blows a tire, it's not going to hurt as much.
Yeah,
He's
think
not
about
scared
that.
anymore.
Think about that though. Like, think back to 2010 California Speedway. Won right around the top. I don't know where the bottom thing came from.
I don't know.
Atlanta.
They say that you're just a bottom feeder.
I'm versatile.
Versatile. There you go. Even your son, you said, was asking you like, "Hey, how'd you make that happen?" Right?
Well, he kept telling me that his car was too tight, and he was explaining it to me. I'm like, buddy, you have the complete wrong theory of how this works. So it was funny.
Took the kids to class. Took them
Yeah,
to school.
it was hot.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
hot.
and then
It was hot
I went from Colorado to California. We had our annual AJGA golf tournament in Bakersfield. It was 110.
Oh my.
Yeah,
How was your
bad.
golf
it was
game?
warm. My golf game, it was the first time I played since the tournament last year.
Oh, a year departure from this.
Departure.
Okay.
But it was fine.
Nice.
I only lost one golf ball.
Okay, that's not bad. That's actually pretty
Into
good.
That's
Like
how
a
I judge
water?
my golf game, by how many golf balls I lose.
Yeah,
That's a fair assessment.
that's pretty good.
And what'd you do? You saved a woman at a bar, and you.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, she was in need of assistance. Some other gentleman was in her personal space, and I looked across and I said, "Do you need help?" And she said, "Please." And I, as a gentleman
Stepped
that I
in.
am, stepped in and said, "Sir, you need to vacate this space.
But
Ma'am,
we've
come
been
with me.
told nothing else occurred as a result. We were hoping maybe it was a new prospect
No
for
love
him.
story.
No
No
love
love story.
Oh.
Bummer. No romance.
That's too bad.
No, but if I see her out again, we'll both know, and maybe that will be when the love story happens.
Yeah, maybe.
Sometimes you got to leave it out there for the future, you know?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because she can't miss you, especially if you show up in your Joe Gibbs T-shirt.
Right. Not all heroes wear capes,
Thank you so
Kev.
much, Kevin, for saying that. It helped me transition to Joe Gibbs Racing because I don't know how else I would have done it off of
We were
Romance of Mamba's love
spooling
story.
around.
Yeah, we've been going all over the place. Welcome in to another episode of Happy Hour. We're at episode 40, if you can believe that. Episode 40. And we only have 3 races left in the season before the chase, which is also hard to believe. So Iowa did not disappoint. Great crowd on hand. The weather held out for the weekend. I thought that was great. And Ty Gibbs was victorious. Second career win. How did you feel like you watched him manage that race?
Well, at the end, it was. I think it was a maturing process that we all wait for with a lot of the young drivers to be able to manage a race. And we saw it from Corey Heim at Indianapolis, and now we saw it again from Ty Gibbs. Not having the best car, but having the track position, not making any mistakes, going through lap traffic, doing all the things that he did at the end of the race after a great call from his crew chief to get the track position that they needed at the end of this one. So Christopher Bell clearly had a better car, but I think in this instance, with the way that everything worked out, Ty just didn't make any mistakes. And I think when you look at the 54 team in general, they've been super consistent, not making a lot of mistakes. I know that they had the pit stop issue early in this race that they had to overcome. Christopher Bell started at the back of the pack, was able to work his way up into contention to have a chance to win this race at the end. So once again, we see the Joe Gibbs Racing cars and the Toyotas in general, just they're the cars to beat. And I saw when Blaney qualified on the pole, I'm like, well, maybe we're getting into this Penske resurgence again. And Logano was up in the front, but ultimately those guys couldn't keep up at the end and didn't hold their track position at the end to have a chance to win.
It has been all about Joe Gibbs Racing and Toyotas for sure this season. But Kevin referenced the fact that Ty's team did have that mistake on pit road, but he did not get distracted by that. Head down. He even said that, just keep going. Showing a lot of maturity, I think, for such a young driver, being able to overcome different situations, not get rattled and still do his job.
Yeah, I think Ty is now turned into the man, not the kid, because he's grown up now from the champion that we saw in the O'Reilly Series a few years ago. Like, you saw all these things, and then a lot of things happened between that championship and where we're at now. And he's grown through those things, and now he's matured, and he on and off the racetrack. I think the off the racetrack is really, really good, and that's what's making the on track so good. And he's just locked in. I think he's going to work every week. He talked about his teammates and how they all work together, and he sounds like a leader of the organization. Like, it's something, there has been a switch that it's clicked over, and he sounds like he's leading the group in different ways. And that I'm really happy for Ty, because I think he's a good guy, and I think that he just takes some guys longer to figure it out, and he's starting to figure it out, and it's showing up on the racetrack. And now I think it's Toyota's championship to lose, and he's now put himself in the conversation as well. If you look at the points, it's a lot of Toyotas up on the top 6, and we always talk about how when they looked at it, like, you had to be top 6, 7, and that's kind of where they're at.
Yeah, and I think when you look at the point standing, obviously Denny Hamlin at the top of the point standing, and Ty Gibbs in second, and then you have Briscoe, who's made it all the way back up to 5th, and Bell right behind him in 6th. So the one thing that I think we've all learned about the points and the way that they work this year, winning still really matters, and getting those stage points. Gibbs has the most stage points out of anybody in the whole series, and I think that when you start looking at stage points, and then you go down the stats and you look at the speed ratings, and they pretty much line up with where the points are now, and we think back to where Tyler Reddick was at the beginning of the year and winning 5 races early on, and it has just totally flipped for him from a momentum standpoint. And we talk so much on this show about momentum, and it's a real thing, especially leading into the chase. And you look at the 20, the 54, the 11, the 19. I mean, those cars are running well week in and week out, no matter what racetrack we go to. Yeah. And ultimately, speed is going to trump everything else. When you get into these situations, it's going to come down to the guys that have the most speed. It's not going to be about timing winning the right race like we've seen Joey Logano and those guys do for so many years. It's going to be about putting together 10 weeks, and who can the cars that have the most speed are ultimately probably going to prevail, because they're going to gather the most stage points and run the most consistently at every single track that we go to. No road courses, one super speedway. And, that really minimizes the variables that you have. Now, you're still going to have all these things that pile on with circumstances and bad pit stops and wrecks. And we all know how the chase will ramp up, just like the playoffs did before. But it's going to be a little bit different because of that 10-week stretch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You talk a lot about speed. Ty Gibbs certainly has it. An interesting kind of story when you look about where he was a year ago to now. It seems like him and Tyler Allen have really come together in a strong way. So do you feel like there is championship potential for that group?
I do. And the reason that is their consistency. And you look at the stage points and the way that they qualify and the things that they're doing week after week on all the different types of racetracks. And even this week, I mean, you look at where the 20 qualified and you look at where the 54 qualified, and those are the things that you're going to have to minimize as you go into these last 10 weeks is getting a good qualifying spot and doing all the things that it takes to get the stage points to go along with having a car that can win the race. Now, you look at the flip side of that, right? And you have Logano, right? Qualifies good, manages the first half of the race, and then they get back in track position and can't really overcome those scenarios because of the, not having the same speed in their cars that the Toyotas have. So, I think Blaney's the best hope from a Ford standpoint, really from anybody else. I think it's Blaney that really is the only one that can break up this whole Toyota dominance.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he's definitely been the strongest Ford throughout the course of the season. I want to transition to Christopher Bell, who you talked about. 5 top 5s in the last 6 races, 6 runner-up finishes for him. What's that like, though, for a driver when it's still that win is eluding you all year? You're just trying your best. Yeah,
very frustrating. It's actually his 7th top 5 or top 2. No, that was his 7th.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, 7 runner-up finishes.
That was his 7th runner-up finish. So, I mean, think about that. I mean, it's kind of like your stats, right? Like you're almost winning.
You're right there.
Yeah, you're right there. But when you're a proven winner and you're used to winning, and you know that you've got cars that are capable of winning, and the fastest car at the many of these races where you finish second, I can see his frustration. And Bell doesn't typically show a ton of emotion, and he was clearly frustrated after this one and kind of threw it back on when they asked him if it was the right call to put 4 tires on. And he immediately said no. Yeah. It was definitely the wrong call to give up the track position and lose control of the race, because once he lost control of the race, then it's difficult when you get behind a car that has similar speed. So I can see Bell's frustration, and it's been a really up and down year for him, but he's still in it.
Yes,
and if that switch flips at the right time for Bell and he gets to victory lane, and that's one reason that the second win for Ty Gibbs was really important to prove to them that they could win not just one race. Now they've won 2, so they know that they can win multiple races. But if that switch flips for Bell at the right time, he gets to victory lane. I think he's probably been at most of the races lately. He's probably been one of the fastest 2 cars. I think he and the 54 have been the fastest couple cars over the last several races. So, look, and I think the other thing is you look after the race, and Denny Hamlin was demolished.
My man was. I gotta give it to 11. He was up on the wheel.
He was demolished after the race physically, and having a tough time talking, and that concerns me a little bit, because you're getting into the grind of the whole season now, right? You're going through the summer, and as you've seen with Tyler Reddick, it's really easy to lose that momentum that you've had and turn it back on.
Yeah.
To consistently turn it back on to those dominant performances at the level that it takes to practice well, qualify well, make good decisions, put yourself in position, win races. And I know they were managing a lot this weekend with the brake issues that they had on the 11, but that part makes me just it just has a question pop into my mind if they're getting worn out. So we'll see.
Christopher Bell, we were just talking about him. He is now up for position into the 6th spot, which we talk about as the exact area you want to be when the postseason begins. And a lot of depth on that team, too, to Kevin's point, if they can get things moving in the right direction. Crew chief and a lot of the people on that team have won championships in the past with Kyle Busch.
I think I've said on this show a couple of times. Last year, I was doing driver intros, and he comes across the stage, and he was not in the hunt for a championship at the last race, and he looked at me and said, "This sucks." And I thought right then, I'm like, well, he's motivated already. And the season didn't start exactly how they wanted it to, and obviously with the broken wrist, but that didn't seem to slow him down at all. I think it almost made him better because he wanted to prove, almost like something else to prove that this isn't going to hinder my championship or what we can do as a team. And they've locked in. And I think that the 20 car, I think I picked him at the beginning of the year to win the championship. He is one of the most dangerous. That's one of the most dangerous teams on the racetrack. Because to your point, they finished second. What did you say? Seven times.
Yeah,
seven times.
Runner-ups.
So that's
7.
And his.
Hate when I miss a stat.
Well, you're gonna miss. You probably missed this one too. Did you know that it's been within half a second of like his second place finishes? Losing to his teammates has been within half a second. It's been like. So he's very close margins. So he's right there. He could easily have won 3 or 4 races this year.
Yeah.
Right. And so, like Kevin said, if they can turn that second into just a little bit more,
It just needs to, all it takes is 1 week.
that's it.
Yeah, once you flip that switch and everything starts rolling your way, that's as important as anything that you can have is the momentum at the right time.
Someone else who has some momentum right now would be Josh Berry. He had a top 5 performance. You have a fun little stat as it pertains.
This blew me away.
Josh
Yeah.
Berry, you want to share that with us?
Yeah, well, it's the fact that the Wood brothers, that's their first top 5 finish since 2005.
I don't even know how that's possible
Yeah.
for the short tracks. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at that stat, and we've talked about the 21 on here before, it's just such a finicky team. And you look at Josh Berry with the top 5 this week. They had a top 10 last week last race at Indy. And, it's like all of a sudden you tear it down and you say you're going to have a new driver and your driver's out. And it's all of a sudden, boom, here the 21 comes again. And they did the same thing last year with Harrison Burton. And we've seen this kind of trend that it's almost like they don't pay attention to it until it's time to pay attention to it to get it going good. So, that stat really caught me off guard because, you think about all the success that Blaney had in that car and never had a top 5 finish on a short track. So pretty
Hard
wild.
to believe. Yeah, I like
It is
that.
hard to believe.
Pulling in the stat arsenal there.
It really doesn't make sense. But yeah, that 21 group, it's like you just have to wonder like what it is because they ran good last year.
They've had a lot of good drivers over the years.
But
It's just not consistent.
it's not every year. Like right when you think they're gonna make a jump, like the amount of times they missed the playoffs or the chase or whatever was very close. They've always been a fringe team, and you think the next year they're gonna jump in, and then always that next year it's like a letdown. It's always been like that. I don't know why.
We're still monitoring Josh Berry and his future and what that may look like for him. Trackhouse Racing, they showed some signs of strength. If you take SVG out of the mix, because he obviously had an incident on lap 92. Ross Chastain moved up 3 positions, 47 on the outside looking in, while SVG is 47 to the good. But do you think they were encouraged leaving Iowa?
I would hope so. I mean, the one car and Connor Zilich's car. I mean, they all needed something good to happen, and we all know that Zilich is better than the performance that he has put on this year, and to see him, he qualified well, he practiced well, he did all those things well, he had a solid finish, which is exactly what he needed to be able to get things turned around, get the confidence right. You guys I'm constantly gonna talk about confident because if you're not confident, you will not drive these cars to the full capability to get that last little bit of speed out of it. And I think for him, and this is what we expect out of Ross Chastain. And, I think SVG had his struggles and had his spin. And I think I think that bubble is still a real possibility if they, if Shane goes and has trouble at Richmond and you still have to go to Daytona. I mean, if he bobbles just a little bit, you've got Preece who's sitting right there It seems like a lot of points, but it can flip really quickly with one guy having a bad week and one guy having a decent week with stage points and everything that goes with it.
So Ross Chastain made up some ground. Yep. As I mentioned, he's still 47 back. So do you think he can potentially advance on? Do you think there's a good opportunity to see him in the postseason?
Yeah, I interviewed him during the practice and qualifying show this week, and he was very direct about. I asked him this exact question. He's like, "I just want fast race cars." Like it was like whether they make it or not. Like obviously he wants to make it, but if they make it and they're not fast, I think he's gonna be just as angry or frustrated with the situation than if they don't. So he wants fast race cars, and if they're giving fast race cars, he'll make it, and then he'll be able to make a run. And it's interesting if they become the 2 on the bubble. It's like as a company, like the 97's been running the best all year, but you expected Ross to be your workhorse team. Like it's like as a company, it's like that's a weird spot to be in. So I don't, that's gonna be tough.
And he got Cindric right on the bubble.
Yeah,
and he did not have a great weekend at Iowa at all. And all it takes is if those guys can run 5th to 10th somewhere in there, and those guys Cindric and SVG have another weekend like they had at Iowa, it's going to get tight quick, and you don't want that to be within 10-15 points when you head to Daytona.
That's what I was going to say. You want to get, if you are on the outside, you just want to keep yourself close when you get to Daytona, because know as long as you get to Daytona, anything can happen if you're within the range of points. And if you're on the other side, you want to be far enough away in points when you get to Daytona. One other thing about the bubble, in the beginning of the year, Ryan Preece had that penalty, a big points penalty. It was only a driver penalty. It wasn't a owner's points penalty. And a lot of people, we don't really cover it as an industry as much, but that matters a ton because they're really only 4 points out of the owner's points of it, and that will change the money that comes in. That changes your whole.
Will change all the money.
Changes everything. Yeah. So he might miss it as the driver, and the 60 car might still be in it. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Yep, that's a small win or a big win, I guess, if you want to see it that way.
I promise you, the owners know that's a big win.
That'll be a big win.
So you mentioned Austin Cindric, which brings me to Team Penske. Joey Logano looked like he was poised for potentially a top 5 finish before pit road was an Achilles heel for a number of teams. Didn't get the left rear tight. You see it here on the 22. But do you feel like they have turned a corner, I would say, in the last month?
For sure. And I think that the performance of the 22 for sure has been better. I don't know that. I mean, I think Blaney qualifying on a pole this week definitely showed that they've found a little bit of speed. Logano was 3rd in qualifying. Josh Berry up there in the top 5 to finish the race. So, and qualified well. So I think that they've definitely found some speed. I think that they're also going to some racetracks that are good for them.
These are their spot.
I think that when we go to Richmond this week, I think we expect them to be good again. So it'll be interesting when we get to the 1.5 mile racetracks in the last 10 weeks of the season. But Logano's made a nice surge in the way that those points have tightened up. You got Larson back there in 10th. You've got Byron who's fallen down the ladder. So I mean, there's a potential that he could leapfrog several of those guys, Logano, to get up there in 8th or 9th in the points, and that would be a massive recovery.
Do not let this guy hang around.
I find this not surprising, just based on what we know about this former champion.
Do not let this guy hang around, because if he has a reason to race hard, he's going to race you really hard.
Yep.
And it's not the fact that he's going to necessarily make this massive run and get all the way up there, but if he thinks he can get one more spot in the points, he's going to race.
He's going to race for it.
He's going to race for it
because he knows ultimately how important those few points matter.
Exactly. So they definitely have turned the corner. Like you just said, they're in their sweet spot. If you're going to have a sweet spot in the regular season, this is it. Like this run into the chase, like you want to be good right here, and they are yearly, it seems like, and I talked to their group in Indy, and they felt like not only was this their time of the schedule, but also that they found some things that were going to hopefully make their cars better. And obviously they have, and I expect them to keep on that trend.
And Joey told us that when we interviewed him, how much he felt optimistic about this stretch in the schedule.
He's been so mad.
Yeah.
He's been so mad. He sat in that chair and really held it in, but I could tell he was frustrated.
He seemed more puzzled than anything, so it seems like hopefully they've gotten some things figured out company-wide there. So speaking of companies, Hendrick Motorsports probably not overjoyed leaving Iowa. Kyle Larson moved down 2 positions, lost 25 points in the standings. And the last stretch of races have been really tough for that group. Do any of the 4 cars at Hendrick you think have the capability to win a title?
I don't think so. I don't know any other way to say it. I just don't think they're in a good spot right now. And I think that right now they're looking for who's the leader. Like, who's the leader of the team to guide this ship back to where it needs to be to get our cars right? Which driver, right? Like, it's, the crew chiefs and engineers and we talk so much about Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin being able to do that with their cars. And you see the resurgence of what is the 22 car and Penske. And that comes from a definitive leader in the organization from a driver standpoint to help guide the crew chiefs and engineers down a path that is going to make the cars better. And we just have not seen that out of the Chevrolets. And at this point, you should have figured it out to make it better, but it doesn't seem like they've gotten any better from a performance side of things to get in a direction that is going to make the cars competitive to be able to race for a championship, and I just don't see it.
Mm-hmm. You're sensing, obviously, frustrations from the various team members on Hendrick Motorsports. Rightfully so, because we talk about all the time here on this show, the bar is high for HMS. We expect them to be running better, and it's hard to believe that only Chase Elliott has won out of their whole group.
It's insane. It's
like, at this point in the year.
I don't think it'll end. I still think that they'll... I think Larson's going to find a win. I think Byron's going to find a win.
I don't think so.
I think they'll find something throughout the year, as it gets in. But whether they have a chance for the championship, I feel like this is blasphemy to say that Hendrick doesn't have a real fighting shot at it. Like, they do. They have a puncher's chance, but it just hasn't. It looks a lot like that year Tony pulled the rabbit out of his hat. Like, you're going to need some magic to make it happen, and they just haven't been up in the front. Like, that's the thing. They haven't been up in the front at all.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
No,
even
Larson was up there at Indy.
Right.
And blew the tire, but...
Like, they just haven't been there. And when you're not there, it's hard to, see it. Like, I can't see it.
Well, and look at last year. Well, I mean, William Byron won at Iowa.
Yep.
And he was just in the race this week, racing for 10th, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just amazing to me how fast it can flip with one little change of the car. And that's the only thing that I question is who are they leaning on from the driver's standpoint to guide it? And it just doesn't seem like they have that within the organization to help them.
It's also interesting because you look at the other Chevrolets, it's like you're not going to go to any of them. You know what I mean? You're not working together like that. Maybe with Spire, right, where you're sharing a little bit more information. But if Spire they were non-existent for a lot of it this week too. They had different problems, so I don't know. They're in a weird spot. I know that they haven't been in this spot in a very long time.
Yeah, it really, the last time I remember this is when they went through the whole internal structure change of when Jimmy Johnson was leaving and moving the crew chiefs around and Jeff Gordon coming in and Chad Knaus going out, and so that was the last time that I really remember Hendrick being in this spot. But I think it's going to take something like that to get it straightened out, to figure out why we haven't figured out the direction of where we're at with the car at whatever week we are in the season with 3 races to go into getting the chase started. So I didn't really think we'd ever, and they hung around so long just with getting mediocre finishes in the points. And now you've seen all these guys that have more speed pass them in the points, and they continue to have trouble.
Another team that continues to have trouble, and you referenced it at the beginning of the show, is Tyler Reddick. It's been the tale of 2 seasons for this group. 3 wins in a row in the first 3, 5 in the first 9. He was second at Pocono, but since then only 2 top 10s to his credit. So do you believe they can work out these issues in the next 3 weeks?
This is all about momentum at this point, and I think that to me is just Tyler overdriving the car right there and made a mistake in a really sketchy spot on the racetrack at Iowa, and that's where the maturity comes into being able to not overdo it and protect your car to keep yourself in a position that you'll have to do in the chase, and we've seen this happen a couple times with the 45, and I think when it was all going their way and they were getting all the breaks and things were winding up in victory lane. They weren't making these mistakes. They were overcoming things. And now you're, and he was clearly frustrated with himself after the race in making the mistake. But it has definitely been a downward trend. And, I think when I look at the team as a whole, we've seen a couple bright spots from it, but it's not like the 23 hasn't been very good. He's been mediocre at best.
Not where they were earlier this year.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I think that when you have that momentum swing like that, you really start to question things, and then it's just not as easy internally as it was at the beginning of the year. And that's always the question that you have when those things happen and you get on those streaks at the beginning of the year, is how do you maintain that?
You
because
called it.
That's a high level.
Well, what
what
is the streak? How did you get the streak? How you got there really matters. They weren't dominating races.
Right.
They were overcoming a lot of issues too to win.
They were executing the hell out of these things and beating people where they were beating themselves and putting themselves in the situation to where Tyler had an opportunity to do what Tyler does best and go steal a win. But the speed hasn't been crazy, and then
they haven't been dominant.
And then when they have been, they've been the ones that have messed up on execution or something has gone wrong. You know what I mean? So it's been, what'd you say, a tale of two stories?
A tale of two seasons.
Yeah, two seasons. Yeah. That's exactly what it's been. And Tyler is one of those guys who he will look inward heavy and blame himself heavy. And you gotta, as the people in his circle, you gotta make sure that he, keeps his head on straight and keeps going to the forward, because he'll take L's hard. And
that's the thing. If you compare him to Denny Hamlin, right? That's just not a mistake that Denny Hamlin is going to make.
He just ran the whole race with no brakes.
Yeah. He managed the whole race with no brakes, basically. You're right. And those are the types of things that you have to do. You have to drive the car to the potential of what it has, and that's it. Don't wreck it. Put yourself in a position to gather a decent day. But that's what makes Tyler Reddick who he is, right? He's the guy that's going to push it right to the edge, and a lot of times it's going to go over the edge, and this time it did, and it bit him again, and now we've gone from first to fourth in the points after
Yes.
we had all pretty much said it's going to be hard to beat this guy for the regular season championship, and here we are.
I feel really bad for Eric Jones in that deal too.
That's just what I was going to say.
He was having a solid day.
The biggest loser out of this whole thing, I guess, would say, is Eric Jones, who had a good qualifying effort, felt confident, you could tell, going into this event. Now you can sense the dejection a bit, knowing the task that's ahead of him the next 3 weeks. Do you think he could advance?
I don't. Yeah, I just think it's too far behind, and they've been another team that's been inconsistent, and they've had great days. They've also had a lot of bad days, and I think that's where the Joe Gibbs organization and that group is. When they have bad days, they're still fast.
Yeah.
When they're having bad days, they're just slow. For the most part. Now you have days like this where you get caught up in somebody else's mess on a day when you were probably going to perform at a pretty high level, but those days are not as consistent as they need to be at this point.
You got to really tip the cap to that whole legacy group and what they've done to turn the whole program around and make it competitive like it is, because it wasn't very long ago that they were 25th at best week in, week
and
out.
Since our last show, they announced that big group of investors that are coming in that includes Scott Dixon, Andy Roderick. There's a whole bunch of people who are now going to be involved in Legacy.
They got some fun things going on.
Which is neat to see that.
Well, I love the approach that Legacy is taking from the hospitality side.
Oh, it's sick.
Ownership side, and all the things that they're doing to make the racetrack experience different than what the NASCAR at-track experience has been for your sponsors and partners and owners, and just the enthusiasm that is around it right now. I believe that the Legacy organization is on its way up, but I don't think it'll be this year for a chase run.
Good step forward though.
Good step forward. So a lot transpired out in Iowa. We are moving on, obviously, next to Richmond. Before we do, some other things that happened since the last time we had a show. The new stage break procedure that's been implemented for NASCAR. Caution coming out with 10 to go. That is the rightful end of the stage. It is deemed official. Do you believe this is an improvement? I
believe so. And look, I've been fortunate to spend some time with Steve O'Donnell, and I think that the thought process of where they're at right now is aggressive, right? We gotta address problems. We gotta fix problems. And when we have an issue like we've talked about with the caution flags and everything, that the time that it takes, they got aggressive, and that's old NASCAR to me. When we have a problem, we just fix it, or we take a stab at it to make an improvement, and that's the feeling that I get talking to Steve is we want to address every single problem head on and be honest about how we got there and how we're going to fix it. And I think that when you look back at Indy and you look at the time under caution for those 2 caution periods that we witnessed, it just can't happen. And I think that eliminating a second caution at that stage break and the rule that they implemented with the 10-lap rule and just ending the stage, having 1 caution instead of 2 cautions, I mean, that right there just eliminates half the caution time that you were going to have, and also eliminates the probability of another restart and a quick caution with a wreck like we saw at Indy. So I love the aggressiveness of trying to fix these problems and listening to the fans.
Yeah, that's very encouraging to see that, and making this decision in the middle of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're one of those industries that we do make adjustments in the moment. And
not as much over the last few years.
No, but when you look at other sports, they'll be like, we know this is a problem. We're going to get to this in the off season.
Yeah.
And we don't do that. I'm glad that we've made some changes. I'm glad that the fans feel like they were heard, the drivers and the teams, everyone feels like they're heard. It's good for everybody, good for the overall product. And a positive thing, it adds a little bit of a wrinkle to the strategy. I mean, if there is a caution within, and with 10 to go or 9 to go, now it changes the next run. So like there's a little bit added to it.
Well, think about everything that we've done. We got the stage break caution announcement. We've got the front bumpers on the short tracks and a new super speedway package at Daytona in 3 weeks.
And horsepower. Oh yeah, and the horsepower.
Yeah. Well, we had the horsepower and the simple diffuser and everything at the beginning of the year. For all these racetracks, which is when you look at Iowa, is definitely something that is a tough place to handle with the low downforce package and more power this year compared to what we had last year. So 3 really big changes in a short amount of time with everything that NASCAR has done.
Yep. Another change that we've been seeing in a slow roll is the 2027 schedule. We have the Clash back at Daytona. Series of other dates have been announced of when they're going to take place. Which ones are you most looking forward to, or do you think is a positive change?
I love the Clash being back at Daytona. I like the fact that we're going to just have a
speed weeks.
Speed weeks. I guess it is weeks since we're racing on Saturday and the next race is on Sunday. I love the fact that we're going to be there for a longer period of time to promote the biggest race of the year, and to be able to condense that, not have an off week in between the 2 races like we had at Bowman Gray or the Clash over the past several years, where you have that off week leading into the Daytona 500. Now we're in Daytona. We can do media day down there. We can have the Clash. I hope we have a draw party. I hope we get rid of the random.
Fun, yeah.
I hope we can bring the random draw back to qualify and have a draw party for the Clash and for the starting positions, and get back to those things where we can involve the fans, have a TV broadcast, and make it so that we have more engagement for a longer period of time, like we used to.
That idea.
Yeah,
I think it'd be
very nice.
fun.
If I'm a betting person, it might happen.
These chairs would look good down there for the Clash draw.
How about
Clash? That's right. That's what needs to
qualifying
happen.
draw.
I'm here. I'm here for that.
I know you're excited about Iowa July 4 weekend.
I am. I think I was talking to the Iowans out there. I don't know.
Des Moines-ians.
I don't know if that's what you call yourselves or not, but they were really excited about having 4th of July. I'm like, hey, be honest with me. Like, is this going to be cool or not? And they're like, we do some of the best fireworks shows over in the Midwest and the entire country.
That's cool.
And there's not much to do.
No. They need something to do, right? But I'm really stoked about New Hampshire Motor Speedway getting their date in the fall back in the chase. That was a race that I grew up going to all the time, and that time of the year is really good. It's foliage time, and it looks really, really cool up there. So I'm excited.
And I love the fact that Bristol is back to its traditional summer date, where we don't have to deal with Tennessee football and everything that's happening in that part of the country to put the Bristol night race back where it belongs.
That's right. A lot of good changes on the horizon as it pertains to next season's schedule. But before we get to next season, we have to get to Richmond first, the short track on Saturday night for the next installment for the series. This is exciting. 3 to go, as I mentioned. What are the key characteristics of this place that, it looks straightforward, but it's quite technical, right, at Richmond?
It's pretty straightforward.
It is very.
It is anything but straightforward.
It appears that it could be, but it's not.
It is very difficult, very worn out surface. Going back there to Richmond at this point of the season, knowing how much emphasis is on it for the top of the grid as we go into the chase, the bubble spot as we go into the chase. It's a place where you're either on or off. Like there's no in between. Austin Dillon has been the guy.
He has been the
over
guy.
the past couple of years. So, we'll keep our eye on him. But, I think Richmond is it's very technical. You have to make sure that the car is not loose in. It cannot be loose in under braking. You got to be able to get the car to the bottom of the racetrack, have enough rotation to be able to not be loose off the corner, and you have to do that. You're going to have to count on a lot of long runs. So added horsepower will definitely make a difference in what you see at Richmond, and it's always from my standpoint, was one of my favorite tracks to drive.
Oh, you had 4 wins there. I imagine it would be a favorite. That's the first place I ever saw a race was Richmond.
I love Richmond.
Virginian,
Yeah. Richmond was, I remember when it was the Chevy Rock and Roll 400.
Oh, yeah.
Looney Tune cars. That was, as a kid, that was the night race. Richmond, they're going to have a super cool paint scheme.
This is the time to bring it back.
Oh,
one of the most famous incidents ever with Jeff Gordon happened at a Looney Tunes promotional event.
He fell off the golf cart or something,
threw him off out the right side of the golf cart in pre-race. So
that moment, and then didn't you have a moment with Ricky Rudd? Didn't you and Ricky?
I had a few moments there.
Yeah. I love that place. I do from the technical side, when you're on track, when you're racing it, isn't there at the bottom, especially in one, there's a kind of it's not hidden, but you can't see it. You just got to know where it is. There's a groove that you can kind of hook the left front on to kind of paint the line.
You can paint the line, and it's not as valuable in this car. It's a little harder to do because of the ride height and the splitter and the way that it'll drag the apron. But you used to be able to drag that left front right across the apron, kind of partial throttle it, and it had a little bump there that you could help the car turn. But harder to do in the Gen 7 car. It's more of a hit the bottom, diamond a little bit back to the bottom. Almost have to go around it. So it's definitely, we've seen the top groove come in. It'd be great if they sprayed that top second lane a little bit, maybe just to give it a little bit of life up there. But overall, it's going to be on the bottom of the racetrack.
Kaitlyn, don't get tight off of 2 because the wall comes up real quick.
It gets flat.
It comes up.
It's
real
like
quick.
you come up off the corner and it's got a little crown in the straightaway, and it'll just throw you out to that outside wall. You got to be straight. If you got wheel into it, it's going to snap.
I mentioned you had the 4 wins there most recently in 2022. So what did you find there that allowed you to have that kind of success? What about the racetrack?
We really concentrated on making the car good under braking, to be able to drive in the corner hard, so that you could arc the corner or drive it in straight, to be able to navigate the brake zones was super important. So we always spent a lot of time on the setups at Richmond to be able to work on the braking. And in the Gen 7 car, if you make the most speed when you get the car into the corner hard, and if you're turning right getting into the corner at Richmond, you're dead in the water.
Dead in the water. Speaking of that, what teams are hitting the panic mode right now?
Oh. Well, keep it inside the top 20 because everyone outside of there is.
Yeah. Well, Hendrick. Hendrick is hitting the panic button because those guys have fallen so far down in the points that realistic shot at a championship is fading by the day. So they need to have a good 3 weeks. Kyle Larson needs to have a good 3 weeks. Byron needs to have a good 3 weeks. Chase Elliott, all 3 of those guys need to have solid weeks in order to even keep themselves in the conversation of a championship.
Yeah. I think when you look at it, the panic button is more about the championship than it is about making it
into the post.
Yeah, they're going to make it.
Right.
Those 3 guys are going to make it.
Yeah, those guys are going to make it. Like the guys on the bubble, panic. Yes, but that it's not like the old system where you can, steal a win here and make your way in. So you want to be in the chase and be a part of the show. But we're talking championships. It's definitely Hendrick is the one that they have the most to close the gap on.
We'll see if they can manage to close that gap. It's going to be interesting Saturday night.
What do you think about the 45? Where do you think they're at?
I don't think they're panic button right now. I think that they're worried because of the fact that they just don't have any momentum right now.
Yeah.
And now driver's not got the confidence that he had. He knows that he screwed up. He's a little down on himself. So they got to rebound mentally to keep themselves in the game, and knowing that they're still in a position to win a championship if they just don't have any more disasters like they had this weekend, or really the last month. The whole last month has not been great.
Yep.
Speaking of disasters, it's time now for Mamba Social Sip.
Wow.
I
don't even.
I love it.
That
She
is
went right to it.
aggressive. You know what?
We all love Mamba Sip.
I'm glad that you had to drive 15 hours this week. How about that? That's how I feel about that.
Oh, now he's getting defensive.
Now I'm upset. But real quick, before I start this out with y'all, I want to wish my dad a happy birthday. Today
that's
is, in
awesome.
fact, the GOAT's birthday. So,
Very cool. Happy birthday to him.
Yeah, happy birthday, Pops. All right, Iowa. I appreciate y'all because you wanted me to let them know that your favorite
Every
part of the
week
show
we have to hear this
is right
shtick.
here.
Yeah, here's it from one person, and it's always
I
the
heard
favorite.
it from everybody that came up and said something to me, which was a lot. So, because Iowa was packed out, in case you guys didn't know, I got the corn sweats while we were out there. It was a little toasty.
corn sweats?
The corn sweats. It was a little toasty. But let's get after it. All right. We were talking about legacy, and their fearless leader Jimmy Jam, Jimmy Johnson. Announced recently that he's going to be back in his 48 number
At the 500.
at the 500, right? And we were wondering if Lowe's was going to be a part of it. We heard not, but maybe, according to this tweet right here, Lowe's corporate to Ally and Carvana need an ally for the last ride. Check your DMs.
Great play on words there.
Listen, I like what whoever's in charge. Admin win right there. Admin win.
Yeah.
I love this because if we're going to end with the 48. End it all the way. You know what I mean? Give me all the partners that are a part of it. I hope it's an old school 48 paint scheme too, like original Lowe's paint scheme. I hope it's one of those.
Yeah.
I'd be good if it was just all Lowe's.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really
think that'd
that's
be
Jimmy
awesome.
Johnson, right? Like if it was all Lowe's and maybe it's a small Ally sticker and a small Carvana sticker.
at least something decent you can
Small.
see.
Yeah. I would love that, though. Give him a proper send-off, the way the fans remember him.
So what
Those
number is
48.
Alex Bowman going to be?
88?
I bet he's. You know what I bet they might let him do. They might because his first number was 55, and because it doesn't at this point what are we talking about? We're just picking a number, right? They might let him go
know how
out
that
on his
works.
retirement year of 55.
Oh, he's retiring too. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Huh. Interesting.
We'll continue to follow that.
I love the I love the fact that they're letting Jimmy Johnson do that though. That's
Me
that's a win in
For the
every
sport.
direction.
Yeah.
He never got the proper send off
was just thinking
when he went to IndyCar, and the way that it all ended was awful.
Yep.
For a 7-time champion, and I hope that I hope that this sends him off in a better way. Than what it all transpired into last time.
I think it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Speaking of pretty cool, over the off week, C-Bell apparently had never seen Days of Thunder,
Wild.
and he just wanted everyone to know that during his off week, he in fact took the
viewing
time
party.
to watch Days of Thunder. Christopher, good on you for getting that wrong righted. But we do know that Days of Thunder 2
I was going to say, he almost
is
brought
on.
himself up to the second one.
Yeah.
At least he got caught up.
Yeah, he did it at the right time. Days of Thunder 2 is being greenlit. So
Yeah, there was a holler there this weekend.
no, that hall has been there for years. It's
The
been
Days of Thunder 2?
Days of Thunder. No, it wasn't 2. It was just Days of Thunder.
Oh.
Yeah, that
I
hall has
thought
been there.
somebody
All of a
posted it,
sudden,
like
all
it
of a
was
sudden,
some
someone,
new
they
thing.
posted oh, what is this doing here? It's like that has literally been here for a decade. Like it's not.
it's
new.
been here for a long time.
There's a Talladega Nights
That
one,
thing
too.
has hauled a lot of tires.
A lot.
in it.
A lot of shit, man.
A lot of tires.
It's not new.
I thought it was a new one with a 2 on it.
No. But what I do want to bring, I think it would be really cool because in these movies, right, they always have some media members a part of the show, a part of the movie. So I think it'd be cool if our show was a part of that movie.
That would be cool.
I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to be a part
They
of
need to cast a pit reporter probably at some point in that show.
I mean, they need to cast a OG,
Correct.
that still has a
Yeah,
little
you
left
could
in
do
the
your
tank.
acting.
I wonder what the storyline's going to be.
That's what I was wondering. Because, what's the continuation? Is Nicole Kidman in this? Because they're
Maybe. No?
That's a.
Oh, I don't know.
They're divorced, obviously.
Oh, well,
It kind of loses its luster.
does it?
I think so.
I don't think you can bring her back. She can come back too. You can bring the whole cast back. I don't know what the storyline will be. It probably be something along the lines of an old guy trying to keep up with the young guys, right?
I would think
Maybe he goes around the top and just beats him one more time. I don't know.
so. Hey, I'm not done yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Neither is Cole Trickle because he's back. But seriously, I think it'd be cool if we were a part of that in some way, shape, or
In
form.
a
I would absolutely
cameo
love
or
that.
just as a true character?
Whatever. I think it'd just be fun to have the show a part of it because it makes it real, makes it legitimate.
Yeah.
You know, we'll have the Dunn Committee on there. How about that?
The
That'd be
Dunn
awesome.
Committee.
Yeah.
I love the Dunn Committee.
I know you do. Mark Martin is, speaking of OGs, is someone who is always on social, whether he's doing something or not. I love Mark. We used to have a podcast called Mark, Mamba, and the Mayor together. At a wedding, someone has this authentic ass
This is so cool.
race car of Mark's and pulled up.
Did the
and
groom not know?
I-
He seemed stunned at
They
first.
do look a little stunned. I'm not really sure, but the funny tweet here from Kevin Moon. Rumor is that Porsche pissed a little on itself when it heard the groom get the getaway car. So
Quite a getaway car. Wow.
You ain't
That's
catching
one way
that
to
thing.
leave your wedding.
I hadn't seen that. Yeah.
That's cool.
I like it.
yeah. Would you let me take one of your cars from the shop for my wedding?
You have to have a girlfriend or a fiance.
Yeah,
first.
I think you better find up with the girl. You better figure out the girlfriend or fiance instead of.
If I wasn't plugged in right now, I'd just get up and walk out of here. Yeah. You know.
I
She
was
has
just
let you
pointing
have
out-
it today.
I know. What the
I love
hell?
it.
What in the hell is going
Sorry,
on?
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah, no, we should get him a getaway car.
No, it's okay. I'll ask.
I gotta
We should
put
get him a
Band-Aid
girlfriend.
on this.
Yeah,
If you're gonna give me a
I'm
girlfriend,
gonna go all in on this one. You open the door, I'm gonna knock it down.
If you're gonna get me a girlfriend, can you at least go call up Florence Pugh? I know you have millions
is
of
about the
followers.
fifth time
I
he's
know you
brought
have,
that up.
I know
you're
you have
gonna have
millions
to
of followers.
maybe you're gonna have to lower your standards.
Why? Why would I do that?
Because this one isn't working out for you.
No, she just hasn't seen me yet.
Yeah,
The minute you put it out there, she'll probably see it.
I don't know.
Last time I had a bet with you, I had to wear a bunny costume, so I feel like this will work.
Hey, you know what you
forgot
should do?
about
You should
that.
talk to Hocevar and see if you can figure out how to
yeah.
get a
Brother.
influencer girlfriend.
I don't want an influencer girlfriend. I want one of the top actresses in the world right now. She's not no influencer.
That
She's like
influencer
goddess.
thing
She's
keeps
influencing
popping
you.
up.
She is she's been influencing me for a while.
Influencers.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
There
that
you
is
go.
your social sips. We appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Send
And,
your submissions for girlfriend for Mamba.
Yeah, I'm still
Yeah.
single as hell out here. So
What's that app you
Send it
use?
to the mailbag.
Raya?
Raya.
Raya.
Yeah.
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 It's not working. Maybe you should go to
I don't know.
Maybe you should go to a simpler one.
Bumble.
No.
Bumble.
No.
Is Bumble one?
Yeah.
So I've never
Yeah.
used, yeah.
It
but-
yes, it is. It's one.
Does it still work?
I don't use. I deleted it.
Oh, you did?
I just only have Raya in real life.
He's only a
You
Raya
got
kind of
moved
guy.
up to Raya.
Yeah.
You got
I'm
rid
like,
of Bumble.
Oh, we're gonna let
Yeah.
that one go.
He's a lead.
Old Mumbo. Old Mumbo.
Everyone, you guys couldn't hear it, but the producers in our ear just throwing daggers at me right now.
It's fantastic. That's why if we
love
just
it.
randomly start laughing, it's usually something they've said to us. All right, well done, Mamba, on the social sips this week.
Hey, thanks.
Great job. We look forward to what you got after next weekend. It's time now for our last call and to go ahead and grade, I thought, a pretty good
I
burnout.
like this
Yeah,
one.
okay.
It was aggressive.
Yep.
And you could tell that there was
Yes.
there was definitely a lot of throttle in this burnout.
A lot of
and
enthusiasm.
no shit's given on where it wound up.
I like that.
Four,
This is really loud, too.
4 or 5 full donuts.
And we went to complete destruction of both rear tires.
You could hear it you could hear the metal on the racetrack.
Oh,
when
yeah.
it came to a stop.
Yeah.
No, he did a good job. The only
did.
thing I'm gonna have to ask him when I talk to him. The only thing I'm curious about is like the ending, because when he won at Bristol, he like took the phone and like slammed it on the hood, on the roof. I really like that. And
He
this-
did the bow. For Kyle.
yeah, he did do the bow for Kyle. So, but he kept going. Look at it. It's
Yeah.
All right, so we're giving this high marks?
Yeah, I think we'll give it a B plus.
All right.
That's-
Excellent. B plus for Ty Gibbs. I thought that one.
An A is going to have to be spectacular.
Yeah, but you've given some A's to some things that weren't nearly as good as that. But
I don't think so. Not this year.
we'll have to check the tape.
Yeah, check the
Check
tape.
the tapes.
Yeah. Also,
Speaking of checking the tape.
check the tape on those picks.
Let's take a look at the picks. Where we stand,
Okay.
Kevin is still the leader and has been for a very consistent
No,
stretch of
he
weeks.
has been since the road courses because he takes low hanging fruit.
But I've gained a little bit of ground. So Kevin is still at 113. I'm at 84. Both of us picked Christopher Bell for Iowa,
You
so we
didn't
picked
gain
up some
any
points.
ground if you both picked the same
You
guy.
picked Joey Logano, who finished 14th. So you're still at 74 as we.
My
go
pick was he was pretty fast though this week. You know, he was in it.
Yeah.
And he had issues on pit road.
Yeah, it was a valiant effort was made.
Every
by
week
you.
it's an excuse from you.
They're not excuses, they're facts.
Okay.
You know,
Whatever you want to
the
call them.
fact is,
Fact is, you scored no points.
Yeah.
Those are the facts.
Thanks a lot for the reminder.
Those are the
This is what
facts,
we know.
Mumbo.
This
0
is
points.
0 points.
The other thing we know is you have a chance to redeem yourself today by making a
I
selection
can't wait to
for
get to
Richmond.
the chase, to be honest. My selection for Richmond,
What you got?
he actually had a good week this week,
Yeah.
and I'm going to go with it. Let's go 3 times in a row. Let's just do it. Or 3. Let me go Austin Dillon. He's at it. Let's go Austin
Whoa.
Dillon. He's been fast at Richmond.
Okay.
I know
He's been really good at Richmond.
For whatever
Yes.
reason, they've had it figured out here.
I don't think he's going to beat my pick.
Okay.
No?
I'm going with the guy who's won there 5 times, the Virginia native, Denny Hamlin. Don't be mad at me.
I'm not mad at you.
DH.
I'm going to take Bell.
Okay, there you go.
He's going to finish second. I guarantee it.
That's okay. He's going to finish in front of your pick.
No, my pick's going to
Oh,
win
they
the
already
race.
queued up my winner here.
Well, that's
Excellent.
wild. All right. Well, I guess that's never happened before. I don't know what that's about.
I love it.
They're predicting the future just to show you that your pick.
My pick
this
has
is
been
super
better the
helpful
last
to help
few
tell the
years.
story is showing him winning there.
So does your pick? Does
Bolster
it?
my argument.
Yeah. I mean, your pick is solid. I'll give you that for Richmond.
Oh, look, see, just take that as a win.
I thought
He
about
just told
picking
you
him.
had
I know
a
you
solid
did.
pick.
And then I was like,
You won't
I
do
was
it.
going to pick him. And then
No,
when
you
you
weren't.
picked him, I had to abort.
He wasn't going to do it.
Yeah, I was.
Listen, hey,
I was.
do not let him trick you. He was never going to pick him because he does not go on limbs, and that would have been a limb of all limbs for him. He was
That
never
is
picking
not
him.
that
Seen
far
him
of a
go on
limb.
few limbs.
Not for Richmond, but just for a pick in general. For you,
Not at Richmond.
You haven't picked outside of a top 3 speed guy all year.
Well, I mean, do you want to win or do you want to lose?
Well, I've won twice. Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever.
That's right.
Well, we'll have to see how it goes.
So
We
who'd you
got
get?
Hamlin, Dillon, and Bell.
You got Bell. He's gonna finish second.
Yeah.
We'll
The
see.
streak will end at some point. You can't be that fast and not win.
No, you can't finish second that many times. Well, I mean,
It's just a matter of time.
Sheldon Creed finished second a lot,
Yeah.
and took him a while. So.
Christopher Bell is not Sheldon Creed.
No, Sheldon Creed is not Christopher Bell. Christopher
No.
Bell is that guy.
Okay, we can end on that debate, I guess. All right, guys, this has been fun. Another episode of Harvick Happy Hour. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts, and we'll see you guys after Richmond. For Kevin, Mamba, myself, that does it for us. We'll see you next week.